What's going on, guys? The other day, the Fractal Design Prisma series of fans arrived at the office, and while I couldn't talk to you about them until now, I had planned on putting something out on social media, just, hey, check out these new RGB fans. But Fractal actually hit me up and said that I'm going to be the only reviewer in North America to actually have these fans at all on launch day. So I figured might as well put together a really quick first look for you guys and introduce you to what could be your next RGB fan. So let's do that. Looking to supercharge your 1080p gaming experience? Look no further than the RX 580 Red Dragon from PowerColor. With 8GB of VRAM, a lightweight and compact cooler design, and an all-black aesthetic with backplate, the RX 580 is the perfect choice to pair with a high refresh rate FreeSync monitor. Between February 25th and March 3rd, pick up the 580 Red Dragon for a crazy low $169.99, and you'll also get the AMD Raise the Game bundle with your choice of 2 AAA titles along with it, a $100 value. Check out the link in the video description to learn more. It's not often on this channel that we dedicate an entire video to just one type of fan. In fact, it's not ever that we do that, actually. But whereas when most fans are released they do one or maybe two things really well, the Fractal Prisma series actually does almost everything pretty well. To get the basics out of the way, the Prisma series of fans is going to come in 4 different flavor varieties and 2 different sizes. There are the basic AL12 and AL14 with your standard 3-pin connector in 120 and 140mm sizes, and then the AL12 and AL14 PWM versions for $3 more each. All 4 will also be available in 3-packs. Fractal sent over the pulse width modulated versions of both the 120mm and 140mm Prismas, and I've had a few days to play around with them. The very first thing I noticed on these fans was not actually their RGB effects. It was how close the blades are to the side of the fan housing. The closer fan blades are to the frame, the tighter the manufacturing tolerances have to be, and the less air leakage there is when in operation. This helps contribute to the excellent static pressure rating of 2.78, which for comparison is higher than the Corsair ML120 Pro or the Noctua NFF12. This means that the Prismas are ideal for radiators, but if you're more into airflow and need a couple of new case fans, the Prismas also have an airflow rating more than double that of the Thermaltake Ring Trio or the Corsair Light Loop. Fractal will also be selling the Adjust R1 controller separately for $11.99 if you don't have an ARGB header on your motherboard. It's not a mandatory purchase to get the fans up and running, and it's nice to see a manufacturer not requiring a proprietary controller box to run their RGB fan ecosystem. If you have the appropriate 3-pin RGB header already, the Prismas will work with Asus Aurosync, Gigabyte RGB Fusion, MSI Mystic Light, and others. The controller does allow you to cycle through a whole bunch of static color presets as well as multiple Rainbow Vomit configurations. You can also control the brightness of the fans in 5 different steps. Going beyond your standard color profiles, you can also make your color selection breathe or activate any number of different ARGB specific color dancing patterns. The lighting looks great, and even though there are only 6 LEDs inside the hub, the fan design using the white semi-opaque blades with the white trim ring looks great in person. One of the best features of the Prismas is that they use standardized connectors, both for PWM and RGB. The RGB wiring also has a nice little bonus feature, the ability to daisy chain fans together using the built-in splitter. I asked Fractal how many fans I could actually link together and still have them function, and they said theoretically 8, but this isn't an official listed spec. So I decided to try it out, and hooked up all 7 of mine in series, and they work just fine. I also did do some noise testing while I had the Prismas on the bench. At full bore, they did get a tad noisy, hitting 49 decibels on the meter, but keep in mind these are 2000 RPM fans, so they will naturally be a little bit louder. Under a more reasonable circumstance, they actually performed great acoustically, and the measurements I was taking from about 6 inches away barely cracked my 40 decibel noise floor, aka they were almost inaudible under normal operation. I came away very impressed with Fractal's new Prisma fans. Not only do they look great, but they move a lot of air, they're rated to work great with radiators, you can daisy chain them together, and acoustically they were certainly acceptable. It kind of makes you wonder, hey Fractal, what took you so long? Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.